Welcome to Age Potential TV. I'm Lori Campbell, your host, gerontologist, and advocate of your best life, here to introduce you to an emerging trend called Age Potential. Here's to living out your age potential. If someone asked you, what's the best thing that ever happened to you, what would you say? You're going to want to stay tuned because the answer to the question given by my guest, Susan Nelson, may surprise you. Welcome, Susan.
Thank you, Lori, for inviting me.
Wonderful. I have to be honest, I was a bit surprised when you shared with me that getting cancer was one of the best things that's ever happened to you. How so, and what have you learned from this experience?
Well, it caused me to reprioritize my life. In other words, what was important and maybe what was I here to do in this life. And also during the time when I was recovering from surgery, I had about 3 months when the doctors had said, don't move around too much. And so I sat on my couch with a stack of books and audios about this high, and I just started reading all sorts of information about health and nutrition and the mind-body connection, the law of attraction, feng shui, all sorts of self-improvement topics. And a girlfriend sent me some guided meditations. And so I just really started reading and learning and just sucking up all this great information, which has transformed my life. I'm still reading and learning. Every week I read more on those topics.
And prior to this time in your life, you weren't one to seek out other information?
Maybe a little bit. In fact, I kind of have a funny remembrance of when I was younger saying, someday I'm going to eat really healthfully and I'm going to be spiritual, like someday. And so this was my opportunity.
Someday's here.
That's right.
Well, take us back, through your journey. What influenced your decisions, your thinking? What led you to stray away from traditional cancer treatments?
Well, I did have traditional treatment in that I did have surgery. I had a radical hysterectomy because I had cervical cancer.
Okay.
My tumor was quite large, and so there really was no question about that. And at that time, I didn't really realize that there could be an alternative. As I was learning and reading this information about how the mind affects the body and how we can create health, I realized that the radiation, which was what they had recommended for me to have post-surgery, that maybe that wasn't the best path for me. So this was almost 18 years ago, so it was my first foray going onto the internet, and so I started reading all of these medical journals and information about the protocol of radiation after surgery and so on, and there was really no statistical difference in the survival rate. And so to me, for one, I was trusting that the doctors, my oncologists, had done such a fantastic job in removing the cancer. I thought, well, why would I use a sledgehammer or a cannonball to kill a potential gnat this big of a cancer cell that might be there? Why wouldn't I just increase and improve my immune system to be able to exit out any cancer cells that might be in my body? So I made that decision, and I was fortunate enough to have a doctor who was like a team with me, and he respected my opinion. He listened to me. In fact, I remember him grabbing my hand and saying, "We are a team, and your decision is good for you, and I'm with you on this." And I was really thankful that I had selected him. In fact, Dr. Dwight Chen, if you're out there listening, thank you.
Yes, so wonderful. So how did you go about, building up your immune system?
Well, obviously nutrition is a really important way. And so my diet changed pretty significantly. All sorts of, of course, vegetables, and I started to follow the blood type diet, eating for your blood type, and also sort of what I realize now is a Mediterranean diet. And as we've discussed previously, the mind-body connection is so important. And so doing daily routines, or at least frequent routines like meditation, expressing gratitude, and I've learned a lot of techniques along the way too. For example, EFT, which is a tapping technique, some self-inquiry techniques like the Sedona method or Byron Katie's The Work, and affirmations, and just things like being in nature, and all these things that raise your vibration, and so that you can positively affect the cells in your body by what you think and how you interact with the world. So it's really been a profound change for me in dealing with my own health. In other words, I believe that we create our own health, and it doesn't take an external circumstance necessarily to make us healthy.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, in the book, Mind Over Medicine, Scientific Proof That You Can Heal Yourself by Dr. Lissa Rankin, she states, and I quote, "The body is equipped with natural self-repair mechanisms that can kill stray cancer cells, fight infections, and even slow the aging process. But these mechanisms only work when the nervous system is relaxed." So, Susan, how did you keep your body, mind, spirit in a calm state? Because obviously you must have raised your immune system because you are healthy and vibrant and cancer-free. And according to the research, I mean, that's what it takes. Instead of freaking out, I've got cancer.
Right.
How do you do that?
Well, there was a moment of that. But in the recovery time, and then since then, just knowing what some of these techniques are that I was mentioning earlier, and knowing that our emotions and our thoughts very significantly affect our health. And so, we have the ability to to become aware of what our thoughts and emotions are, and to shift.
Did you ever second guess yourself? Did you ever think, my word, I'm not doing radiation, I'm not doing chemo? What if they come back? What am I doing? I mean, did you have any of that, inner talk going on?
Maybe occasionally, especially at the beginning, but the more that I read and the more that I felt great. And I really have a belief, as so many authors now have said, it's not just kind of woo-woo thinking, but it's actual scientific fact that, our cells actually do respond. Our cells have an intelligence that interacts with our brain, and so we can affect ourselves, affect the health of our cells very profoundly.
Absolutely. Why do you think it often takes something like a diagnosis of a disease to awaken us to value ourselves and our health?
Yeah. It's human nature, isn't it?
Oh.
Sometimes we don't make a change until there's a crisis or a huge challenge.
And I also think a lot of people aren't aware of what you're sharing today, that we really we are, the future of our health. I mean, we're in control. We have a lot of influence through our, like you said, our choices, our lifestyle choices, our thoughts, our belief system, our perceptions.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think there's a growing field of, or a group of people who are understanding this, and you're one of the spokespeople for that, of sharing of how important that is. And I think as more and more people become aware of this, the medical field will change, and all of our health will improve because of that.
But what really stands out for me, and I think for most viewers, is that you started this 18 years ago. Yes, it's coming into being now. But you really, what I hear is you're teaching us to say, be your own advocate. Because
Yes.
Susan, you were and still are.
Definitely.
We all need to be our own
Yes.
advocates, do we not?
Yes.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So you were on the forefront of that.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, what is your prescription for radical self-care?
Well, I don't believe that it needs to be radical. I think simple things can make so much difference. When you're feeling stressed or emotionally unbalanced, or to go out into nature, or to express gratitude, to create a sanctuary space in your home, to meditate, to do something, to laugh, to hug someone, all these sort of things, raise your vibration and care for yourself in a very simple and yet profound way.
Absolutely. Yes, beautiful. So what suggestions do you have for the viewers to how to keep their disease state genes like switched off and how to activate the healthy state genes? I mean, that's really from the science of epigenetics, that we have control, what genes flip on and what stay dormant. And basically that's what I hear that you really believe, that you have the capability. So what suggestions do you have?
Well, one, to believe, to really truly know that we have that power and that our emotions and our thoughts are intertwined with our health. And so we have the ability to to feel better at any time. And we also have the ability to make better choices, to exercise more, to eat fresh foods and less processed foods. And I'm not advocating that everyone completely 100% radically change over their daily habits, but little by little to make those changes. And but at the top of all of that is to believe that you have that power, that we all are incredibly capable of creating our best life and creating a healthy life.
Well, I'm just curious, if someone knew you back in high school or college, has your life drastically changed that much before and after the diagnosis, would you say?
Well, I think I'm the same person inside, but I think I manifest perhaps wiser now. I make better choices. I have more self-confidence. I have more, again, that belief in myself.
Likely so. That's the beauty of age. I think one of the wonderful things that we grow through our life experience. Absolutely. Wonderful. Well, I have to always end on my infamous question of, what do you think of when you hear of age potential, and what does that mean to you, and how are you intending to live that out, Susan?
Well, I'm intending to share the things that I've learned with the people that I'm in contact with, my clients and friends, and to let people know about the work that you're doing, and to just be an advocate for all the things that we have just been discussing here. It's the wave of the future. It's the wave of now, and we all are extremely powerful. And I just hope as many people as possible are getting this message and are making those subtle and simple changes to their lifestyle so that they can age well.
Wonderful. Thank you, Susan, for being here and sharing your wonderful, encouraging story.
Thank you.
You are the epitome of health.
Thank you, Lori.
Yes. Thanks, Susan. Being sick doesn't necessarily mean you have done something wrong, but there is a place for personal responsibility. As Dr. Christine Northrup has been quoted saying, "We are responsible to our disease, not for our disease." Illness can be a potent opportunity for personal growth and spiritual awakening. Susan's story is a testament to this. Why not focus on learning on how to prevent future illness? Why wait until your body throws a tantrum with some life-threatening illness to gain your attention, to make some sort of life change? You are worthy of optimal health now.